If you have a good attitude and a work ethic, like you can't lose. You will get where you want to get.
Hello and welcome to the Creative Lotus Podcast. On this week's episode, we have celebrity makeup artist and creator of JAMIEmakeup, JAMIE GREENBERG. Please enjoy this episode. JAMIE GREENBERG, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. You are incredible and I'm so happy to have you. Let's just jump right on into the questions. I'd like to start with kind of, if you can give us some background on, where you born and raised, kind of like where did you start out? And then ultimately you're here in Los Angeles. So what kind of brought you here to LA?
Okay. This is like speed round. So I was born in Los Angeles, Long Beach. What up?
Oh, wow.
And
nice.
my parents were from the East Coast, both from New Jersey. And we moved back to the East Coast, but we moved right outside of Washington, D.C. in the DMV, Maryland. So I grew up in Maryland, played soccer, and I was the only soccer player that had fake acrylic red nails and red lips. Hey!
Yes,
they'd all make fun of me when we take our pictures. I would like put my hand under with the nails on top of the soccer ball and smile and take a picture. And then I went to Ithaca College in upstate New York, and I studied film and photography.
Oh, amazing. And something in common. Right? I like it.
And then, but it was like old school. It was like, in the dark room and film and all that stuff that nobody knows about anymore. It was, the original craft, the archival craft. And then I was in New York City after college and doing that and like trying to figure out my life and like, just like realize that I loved makeup and I loved people and like, my husband and I were like done with New York. We lived there for like almost 5 years and we were like, we want to change. So we moved to LA. And before we moved to LA, we like took off a couple months. We got married and then I got a job at Ulta in Oxford Valley, Pennsylvania, which is like middle of nowhere.
Wow. So
random. I like wore a suit to the interview and was like clip clopping in my heels. And they were like, you're going to make $2 an hour and you're going to unload boxes of shit at 4:00 in the morning. And I was like, great, sign me up. So that's when I was like surrounded by product and I fell in love with it and did like my first makeover with Bare Minerals and some lady bought everything and I was like hooked.
Wow.
So I moved to LA, opened the first Ulta in LA, worked there for about 6 months. Then I graduated to Bloomingdale's, worked at Bloomingdale's for like a year and a half. Then I freelanced. And then the ball just started rolling and I met like different people. And then here I am today. Oh my God.
And that was all within like 2 years. So congratulations. That's amazing.
Overnight success, Alan. You know how they say.
Exactly.
Well, that song that Drake
overnight
wrote,
success.
Started from the bottom, now we hear, was actually about me.
Oh, okay. There we go. It was all about you. One time we did it. Yeah. Started from the bottom. Now we here. Hello. No, I love that story. That's amazing. You kind of, jumped all over the place and then ultimately landed here and have been doing makeup for, quite some time. So I'm kind of curious, what are maybe some personal struggles, if you could share some that you've had to go through that you felt like ultimately fueled you to kind of become successful as a celebrity makeup artist? This field is extremely competitive, as you know, and so, it's not easy to kind of stay on the ball and, keep working.
Well, I feel like but if you have a good attitude and a work ethic, like you can't lose. You will get where you want to get. So I think that if people are struggling, I mean, I think I definitely didn't know where I fit in. There's no roadmap to like how to be a celebrity makeup artist. But I remember in the beginning, I was like just trying to figure out like, do I need to wear more designer clothes? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? And then like my husband's like, just be yourself. Right. And it was like that simple. Right. And I was like, oh shit, be myself. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I started being myself and I attracted all funny, cool women.
That's amazing. Yeah. No, it's definitely, so you actually lead me right into the next question, which is amazing. So, the podcast was born out of, the pandemic and it's based on this idea of cause and effect. But the lotus flower, similar to that, is it only blooms right when the shit underneath it kind of, goes through photosynthesis and makes this beautiful blossom. So I ask every guest kind of, what do you feel like has been all that shit underneath that has ultimately gave you this lotus blossom or Bloss, your company, your brand, this blossom of, a career thus far?
I think that, like, I would say I've had some down times in my life. Like I was always a fighter. I always was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to work my ass off and I played competitive sports in college, and that was always a good lesson in working hard and, you know, falling back. I tore my ACL in like 1 year in my sophomore year, and I came back, and like I had to come back. And I really feel like your mind is such a powerful tool that you have to take care of it. But even when you're like, when it's failing you, when you're like in your dark spaces and you're, you know, going through really shitty times in life, like that's the time you really have to take care of it. You have to go to therapy or go on medication or whatever it is that you need to do to get out of it, because life is always going to throw you shit. Like, and you become more resilient, and you kind of collect tools to be able to deal with the darkness rather than let it take you down. So I've never been a sit in shit kind of person. I've always been like, this fucking sucks. I hate the way I feel. How do I get out of it? So like I would say in high school, I had a down year where I was like in love with the wrong person. And like, he like was just not, you know, he wasn't good for me. But I was like a dumb, like 16-year-old being like, I'm in love and he's everything to me. But it taught me so much just about myself. And I think that I like lost myself in him and became like super like, you know, just like insecure. So that was a really good point in my life that I look back at that was very tough on me, my family, everyone, but it really created me and made me realize who I am and made me realize that I don't want to be sad. I want to be happy. So I said the next thing that was pretty dark is my mom died. And I was very close with her. She was like my best friend in the world. And that was really fucked up. And I think that really pushed me over the edge, being like, I'm doing this for her. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for the legacy of like what a great mom she was, who she raised. She wouldn't want me to like not follow my dreams and make shit happen. So I'm always like looking up, like, you know, in basketballs, look up at their dead relatives and give them the, you know, like on the like 3-point winning shot. I do it all the time to her because, you know, that really was a dark, dark time. But again, like nothing surprises me. I listen to a lot of true crime, so I know that life is so fucked up. And I feel like I'm ready for it. I know that, you know, with the great things that come, there's also going to be bad things. And that's just the world we live in. And it's just like, you know, spiritually, you have to, you know, help yourself find ways to maneuver through these times. So, you know, I definitely practice that. So was that too much?
Amazing. No, never too much. No, that's so amazing. I thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I think, you know, so spirituality, or, you know, I practice Buddhism, which is this idea of cause and effect, you know, and so I chant every day, morning and evening. And so, yeah, it's helped me to kind of, like you said, get through all this shit that's kind of thrown at you.
Should we chant?
Constantly.
What is it? Nam
Myo Ho Renge Kyo.
Yeah.
You know it. I love it. That's amazing. Myo Ho Renge Kyo. Yes. Love it. So I'm curious, kind of, has there been an achievement in your life that you are extremely proud of, but maybe you're not necessarily known for, that you kind of maybe didn't share?
I mean, I really I feel like soccer was such a big part of my childhood. I'm really proud of myself I was like captain junior and senior year of my team. We went to the Final Four. We were Division III, but we were like the best of, so we could have played D1. But, yeah, I'm really proud of that. It's something that I really think shaped me as a human and with work ethic and leadership. I love public speaking. I feel like that's something a lot of people don't like to do. And my dream, like with my whole brand and everything, is to be able to like go speak and inspire people. So that's something I like to do.
Fantastic. Yeah. Have you spoken at kind of conferences, or have you put on any, you know, lectures of sorts that, you know, have helped to inspire, or is it just kind of, you're getting the ball rolling now, getting into
I've done a couple of things. I did a thing with Create and Cultivate. I've done like some master classes, and I just love connecting to people. And I really do. I feel like I love helping people. I mean, I will tell you this, not a lot of people know this, but when I was in my young 20s, I did a little stand-up and improv. And so that really, really pushes you over the edge of like talking in public. But once you can do that, you can talk anywhere in front of as many people. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. I find that, so much of comedy itself or stand up specifically is, it's kind of like putting all of your whims aside and being able to kind of like, I think it was Joan Rivers who said, like, who the hell would want to do this, right? Because you're literally talking shit about yourself. It's almost self-deprecating, but at the same time, making jokes out of your own life. But yeah, it gives you kind of that stamina that you're talking about to be able to, speak in front of a big crowd of people and, like you said, give inspiration to them.
And I also feel like, a lot of times I feel like that is part of my shtick is self-deprecating. But I feel like I love myself, but I also know that I'm not perfect. So I like to poke fun at the things that are pokeable, I think it's just being real and everyone can relate to that because we all have things we love and we all have things we don't love. And that's just what makes us so unique and awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you're talking about personality and everything. I think it's so great because go check out, Jamie's Instagram and you have these amazing, reels because that's where, they live now, but these videos where you kind of are just so you and authentically you. And you're, giving tips and tricks and kind of, talking to your audience and everything. How has that been as a celebrity makeup artist? You have this big roster of big names, which are so amazing, including, Kaley Cuoco, Rashida Jones, and, Chelsea Handler, just to name a few. So kind of how do you kind of balance that, celebrity life and being kind of the behind the scenes person doing makeup, but then also putting yourself out there, as kind of like you said, your own brand and, social media kind of has taken over in the last, 10 years, if you will. So, how do you kind of navigate that?
Well, I will say when I first started doing a lot of it, I was using my clients a lot more. Like I was like, showing a breakdown or doing videos with them or like going BTS behind the scenes, if you don't know the expression. And I feel like, it's so like, it was so special, but now everybody's on it. And so it's not as special. So I feel like I wanted to kind of like, stop exploiting them. I was never exploiting them, but I stopped like as much with them, even though it's fun to get them to pop in every once in a while, but they're doing it too now. So it's not as,
right.
So I was like, what can I give back? And I actually enjoy making stuff, which is like a lot of people hate it. But I mean, me and my brother grew up in a family. My dad's like was always with a camera on our face and we were always making up, stuff and recording stuff on cassettes. My brother's on the news. He's a reporter. So it's like, it just ran in our family. Wow. We like to be out there. But I thought it's fun. I'm a Gemini. So I'm like, it's my alter ego. Cause I'm definitely
same June or May. Yes, June, Gemini.
What's your birthday?
Love it. Connection.
Oh my
June
God,
12th.
I'm the 14th.
Yours? Yes.
No wonder I love
you. That's so good.
I love
likewise.
Geminis. I love us so much. But,
Same.
I feel like it's my alter ego because it's like a little more high energy and a little more like kooky. And, I think that's a lot of my personality. But I also can like read a room, which I think is super important in this industry. So I know when to tone it down or turn it off or whatever it is I need to do. But I really enjoy it. So I really feed off the audience. They're always asking me what they want to see. So if they want to like know how to cover dark circles or know how to like make your, concealer not crease or whatever it is, they feed me and I give them what they want. So it's a real win-win.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. Yeah. I think the biggest part of being on social media is really kind of, like you said, giving back to your audience, right? It's not just like, look at me, what I can do. Like, yes, it's fun, but you're there to kind of help a community. And I think that's why people stick around, right? And kind of take in the information that you're helping and you kind of listen to that, which you do it so well. And, it's so funny as well, watching your videos. I love them. What is something that you consider to be kind of your greatest weakness, but when you recognize that happening, you kind of what you do to kind of transform it in the moment?
I think the weakness is my sensitivity. The way this business is, and a lot of people don't know this that aren't in the business, is like you can be hot and heavy with somebody for a long time and all of a sudden something can happen to them or they get a lot of success or they have a new publicist and then everybody wants to replace the team and somebody that you connected with for such a long time and have such an intimate relationship, all of a sudden they don't use you and you don't get any sort of feedback. You don't get a phone call. You don't get, hey, we're just going to go, you don't get any, it's a rejection at the end of the day. And I think, being in this industry for so long, I realized that it happens to my mentors. It happens to everyone. Like no one can get past it. And I think by starting my business, my own cosmetics line, you know, it's a slow and steady. It's growing, but I now have something else to focus my energy on. So if somebody doesn't want to work with me, God bless, like it's been fun. I love them. I'm like leading with love, where I will say, like, it used to eat me up. I would have so much anxiety over it. Like, why don't they like me? What did I do wrong? Is my cat eye not sharp enough? Am I too loud? Like, it was just all the self-doubt. You know what I mean? And now, and my husband used to see me make it struggle. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, I just want freedom to know that if somebody stops using me, like my life isn't going to be over. Like, it's really, really hard. And so by, you know, kind of parlaying into my own business, it's now like I work with everybody who wants to work with me. I am so, like, I love my girls so much. I feel so lucky that I get to go hang out with them and laugh. Like, it's just fun and make them feel good and look good. And then when I'm not doing that, I get to go push my business and talk to real people on Instagram or TikTok. And then I get to, like, every day I have a day-to-day with my business and like keep making products that people want to see or I want. And it's just, I really am at a point in my life, and I'm in my mid 40s, where I'm just like, all the hard work and heartache has really developed into like a really great situation. Meaning like someone's going to die soon. I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, I just feel really blessed, and it's a lot. I have 3 kids and a husband too, and it's a lot of work, but like, I feel like we're here and we got to make the best of it and I'm a doer. I will, like, if I have a day off, I'll like do like 10 errands, like, or in the real Gemini fashion, I'll sit and watch like 10,000 Netflix shows or whatever, or HBO Max or Amazon Prime or whatever. Yes. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all in,
whatever the hell streaming, or like
chill.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Yeah. It's the duality of the Gemini. That's just kind of how it rolls. Talking about your business, you know, I watched a bunch of your stories that specifically about, Jamiemakeup, but I kind of want to know, I think you shared on there, but for everyone that's listening and watching, kind of how, was Jamiemakeup kind of created? I think you said on there that it was built out of the pandemic, which I think is such kind of, once again, this like blossoming, you know, lotus moment out of kind of the shit that is, you know, the pandemic or COVID.
Yeah. I mean, I always wanted to have some sort of product to sell. I was like, you know, I'm selling everybody else's product. Why not? You know, so the first thing was like, what can I make that's not out there? It's really hard to invent new things. But I was like, you know what? I always make the cheeks really glowy. A lot of the like highlighters and stuff nowadays have too much like glitter in them, or like they're just not like finely milled. And I want it to look like a very healthy, luminous cheek, but not a 10. I wanted it to be like more like subdued. So I used to make it with like 4 or 5 different blushes and highlighters in my kit. And I'm like, why don't I just make that? So we set out, we made it, took about a year. We launched it like in the heat of the pandemic. I was like, I don't know. People are wearing masks. They're not even going to wear, you know, blush. But dude, it totally worked. And we were like, holy crap. And then we made our money back within 3 months. And then I took all that money. I know.
Wow.
I took all that money and made the gloss, which was a bomb gloss. It was just something I wanted. I wanted just like a very like hydrating, chill, like tint of color for every day. And because I would say most of the time that's what I'm wearing. So I did that. We made our money back in a month. And then now I have 4 new products coming out in 2023 that I'm super psyched about. And we're amping up. The Blighlighter is now going to be refillable. Yes. We're going to make the gloss in recyclable plastic. So it's all evolving. And if anybody knows anyone that wants to get in the makeup business, give me a call.
So, I mean, all jokes aside, are you looking for investors right now to kind of be able to, you know, become, not a conglomerate, but kind of like, you know, build the business to be even larger? I mean, my ultimate goal is to get into, you know, the brick and mortars. The Ultas would be such a great full circle moment because I started there. Sephora, just because I also like freelanced at Sephora with Dior. It's just, you know, I mean, but the problem is like, I don't
doubt that with these next couple products, when they come out, that I'll be able to I'll be able to get the order. I think that this brand is really unique. Especially when you see it as a family with the next couple of products. I just think it's really expensive to make 500,000 products. Like, it takes a lot of cash. So yeah, we have some investors like friends and family and, all these big, money, finance firms. They all want like $1 million in sales, which we're close. Hey. But I mean, it's working. It's like, that's I don't know how all these people, it's like, it seems like it just feels to me that it's like crew that's connected and everybody knows each other and everybody gets more money for their businesses. And again, this is like kind of how I felt, it's like when you get the door slammed in your face so many times, you either just give up or it fuels you. And you say like, you guys are going to all regret this. You're all going to regret this. It's already working and I have no manpower behind it. You know what I mean? Like, it's me, my husband, and like a couple other people and that's it. So the fact that, it's just, again, it fuels me. Like, failing fuels me. So we'll get it. I know we will, but I know it's working. And in the beginning, when I was like asking people for money, I was so shy and I was so scared. And I was like, what if nothing sells? Like, what if we sell like 7 Blighlighters? So like, I was scared to ask people, but now that I've launched 2 products and like, they're constantly selling, like every day we have at least a couple sales. Like, it's good. And I don't even have, you know what I mean? It's all DTC, which is direct to consumer, you guys. I'm such a Gen Zer. But
she's giving you all the terms. Okay. You're learning today, people.
I feel like for me, it really,
I love it.
I now believe so much in it and I see it and I love it so much. Like, each product that comes out is designed by a different artist in the world. I love art. So, and each product is like multitasking and good for you, clean, vegan, cruelty free, 1% to the planet. Like, we're doing all the things that I care about. So I'm like, you snooze, you lose, So we've had some investors and it's great. And I'm so grateful for them because we're able to make 4 products in the next year. And I'm just excited to show everybody what we have because it really is made with love. It's not a cash grab, Yeah.
Absolutely. No, that's incredible. I think, what you're doing, and congratulations on making more, products to come out in 2023. I can't wait to see that. But yeah, products that everyone can use on a daily basis and, make them look great and feel great is incredible. And like you said, everything is, cruelty free and is good for the environment, which I think we obviously all need to kind of focus more on, especially in the beauty world with all the products that are out there. So amazing. Do you have a highlight of your career or a moment that you feel like you quote unquote made it, that you were just kind of like blown away by having that happen to you? For like a better term. There's
been so many moments. I think, my parents were very concerned because I, went to college and I think that for a lot of people, like, there's supposed to be this like streamline of like what you're supposed to do. And I had found like a job that would have been great. And I think they were very nervous when I was like, I'm just going to give it all up and go work retail and like hope for the best. And, I would do people and they would be like, who, what? They didn't understand what was happening. Like, I worked in reality TV, so I was on that for a while. And then when I started to parlay into celebrity, they were like, oh, that's interesting, whatever. They didn't understand what it was. And then one day I called them. They were the biggest Big Bang Theory fans, like literally like
fans. Yeah.
The biggest. They would win a contest and it was like on loop at my parents' house.
I love it.
So, I called them one day and I was like, you're never going to believe this. And I remember I was pregnant with my first kid. So this was like almost 12 and a half years, almost 13 years ago. I was like, I'm going to do Penny from the Big Bang Theory. And they were like, you would have thought they won the lottery. They were so excited. They couldn't wait. I was like so scared because I was like, what if she's not nice? And then cut to now, she's, one of my besties and she's one of the best people ever. And I feel like, making them proud was like, okay, I'm on the right path. And that to me was like a turning point where like, I am doing the right thing. Everybody's on my like team in my like family. And now I'm going to just go for it. And of course, like Rashida and Chelsea and like just being around these like brilliant, iconic women, Molly Shannon, like Kristen Stewart, Jane Levy, you know, just like all these women are just like, I feel so lucky, like contributing art to the world, and they're all interesting and smart. And I just love it. I love that I'm around all these like amazing women.
But I think that I mean, just be real, you bring that to yourself because of your own energy and everything as well. And I think that's what's so amazing, right? Just, you know, talking with you now for for as long as we have, it's kind of like, I think, you attract kind of what you put out there. So it's no coincidence that all these amazing women are in your life and you get to work with them because you bring that.
Thank you. And right back at you too.
Congrats
you too,
to you.
Alan. And just so everyone out there, whoever's listening,
I appreciate
just know that like, it's true. Like your mind is so powerful that if you can just like show up with good energy and like positivity and love, like you're going to be good.
What brings you the most, speaking of that, what kind of brings you the most happiness now versus maybe when you first started out, getting into this makeup
Mushrooms.
world?
I'm just kidding.
Yes. She's like, microdosing every day. That's what's keeping me alive.
I mean, what brings me joy? I love laughing, obviously. I love exercising.
Yes.
I love it. I know that sounds like another thing. It's like, nice. I just love it. I love, if I wasn't doing makeup, I would be exercising. Like I look at these women that don't have any, they like to just like go do Pilates all day. And I'm like, you figured it out. Like, I don't know what you did, but you figured it out. Like if I can get in a 2-hour workout, which doesn't happen very often, but I definitely get in a 1 hour. So I love that. I love watching my kids play sports. Nice. Brings me so much joy. Like I never thought I'd be like a soccer mom. None of my kids play soccer, but I am a sports mom. And like, hanging out with my girls, going on like trips with my clients and friends. And I have so many areas for joy. I also like to be by myself, and I like, I love a good, jog, or I like to cook. I like to paint. I like to go on date night with my husband. Like there's a lot of joy.
Love. I know we're running out of time here, so I just have a couple more questions. What are maybe some goals that you have for the next 3 to 5 or even 10 years from now?
I would like to get into a brick and mortar. I would like to go and teach the kids that are working at these, retail stores. I would love to meet them and really like, I remember when I worked at Ulta and Sephora, and people would come from brands and be like, this is the whatever it is. This is how it works. I'm going to give it to you. I remember getting the free stuff. It was called Gratis. And it was so exciting. And then the people that were nice, I remember I was like, I'm going to sell so much of that Peter Thomas Roth scrub, like, because they were just taking the time. So for me, I'd love to go back and just full circle that moment of like going and just imparting wisdom and just hopefully inspire them, because like I literally worked at Ulta, like put together the first Ulta in LA, like from the ground up. We were like every little like mascara from L'Oreal and Maybelline, putting it on, putting the price tags in the little, like getting paper cuts. So my goal is to, grow my brand, grow my platform, and keep giving back and keep funneling it back. I always like, my kids go to public school, and whenever I'm there, like the places look pretty run down, and I'm like, man, if I was rich, like I don't understand how people that are rich don't want to help out people. Like I don't get it at all. Like I'm like, man, I would build like a jungle gym for the, they don't have a jungle gym in the like in the kindergarten area. I would build a new, sports arena. Like I would just love to, that would be, I'm always like, God, if you grant me the money, I will give it back to the people. Like I will, I don't need that much. I got everything I need, So Yeah, that's the goal.
I love it. I love it. So last thing I'll ask you before we jump off here is, what is there one motto or phrase that you have that you kind of live by?
Just like not sitting in your own shit. Like I'm really like, go for it. Like there's no excuses. Like I'm really with my kids. I'm like, get up. No, let's go. I'm like, one time my daughter was like crying about something and, you know, I was like, come on, you're fine. Anyway, she had a broken bone. But besides that.
oh, Jesus. Come on, push through, damn it. I'm not like a psychopath, but I'm definitely like, you control everything in your own life. And I lead by example. And and again, the older I've gotten, and I'm sure you are, I feel like a lot of Geminis are like very empathic. Like I feel like I can really feel the energy. I think that's part of my job too. And I don't want to be around that energy that doesn't have the same set as me. I guess at the end of the day, I just feel like you have to just get what you want. Go, go, go. Like, don't give up. Don't ever give up. You can do whatever you want. You just have to like have the mindset. Absolutely. Yeah. I love that. Last thing is kind of where can everyone find you on social media and also buy all of your amazing products, the Bloss and the Blighlighter. Oh my God. I love you. Should we do a Creative Lotus podcast discount? We should. We'll talk about it. You guys. Let's do it. I love it. The code will be Lotus. Okay. So anyone can use this. You go to jamiemakeup.com. You can get everything there. You can also I have a side hustle also called Swag Bag. It's a monthly delivery service of fabulous makeup that I, put together. And, we do a monthly opening and we have giveaways and it's really fun. You can join my crew on jamiemakeup.com. And, I'm at Jamiemakeup, JAMIE. Fantastic. On all the platforms except Twitter, because about 5 years ago, somebody stole my Twitter and now I don't have it anymore. Can't get it back. What the hell? So weird. It's scary. Wow. Yeah. So that is weird. Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your time. I know today is your son Simon's birthday as well. So happy birthday to him. And they're having and hopefully you have an amazing. Thank you. No, Alan, you're so nice. I'm like, aren't you sick of hearing from me? Say that again. I said, my son has they're like, you can come in with donuts. So I had to go get donuts and then I have to get to his school. So got it. I'm sorry. I love you, Alan. Gotcha. Did I bore you? I love you. Thank you so much, Jamie. Appreciate it. I'll put all the, am I what? Are you sleeping? Did I put you guys all to sleep? Kidding. No, not at all. You're amazing. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing all the products that you have in 2023 and into the future. So, we'll see you hopefully soon. And thank you so much. Thank you. We'll put Alan. The link down below for everything. Thanks, you. Alan. Have a good one. Love you. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the Creative Lotus Podcast. And a huge thank you to Jamie Greenberg for all the stories and laughs. This week's Buddhist quote of the week is, believing in people, believing in some rich, undiscovered quality and drawing it out. That is the vigorous spirit of education by Daisaku Ikeda. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this week's episode. Go ahead and give us a big 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, a big thumbs up here on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit the ding bell notification. If you want to know when new episodes are dropping, check out this full episode. And until then, let's talk creative, and I'll see you in the new year for season 4. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Creative Lotus Podcast. Please go ahead and subscribe, rate us, and write a review, and follow me at Alan Zaki on social media. I look forward to having more amazing creative dialogues on the next episode.